Welcome to Cognitive Spirals, exploring the latest research into consciousness, cognition, and machine intelligence. All right, everyone excited to dive in today? We're talking about something pretty fascinating, this concept of MMVU, or measuring expert-level multidiscipline video understanding. Yeah, I saw that paper. It's intriguing how they're trying to quantify such a complex thing. I mean, expert-level in video understanding, what exactly does that even mean, right? Exactly. It's not like, oh, I saw the video. We're talking about extracting meaning from the video on multiple levels, like experts do. It's very nuanced. I'm interested in the practical applications of this. I agree. It's a real shift. It's going from, what's in the frame, to what does this entire scene say? And how does it connect to larger systems of information? It's almost like a deep dive into the narrative of the video itself, not just the content. Right, exactly. It's not just object recognition, it's about understanding the context, the relationships, and even the underlying motivations behind what's being shown. Like, how do we get a machine to understand the why behind something, like a human expert would? And, from my perspective, it's about picking up on the subtle cues and patterns that might reveal the cognitive processes of the individuals in the video. For example, if you're analyzing a therapy session, are you picking up on the cognitive distortions that are occurring, or are you just focusing on the surface level interaction? This is something that I find particularly important. That's a brilliant point. It's like analyzing the subtext of the video. And yeah, I immediately think about how this could be useful for, say, physical therapy, where you could analyze someone's movements in the video. And it's not just about whether the movement is correct, but also if there is tension or hesitation, or even how their movement relates to their mental state. Like someone's fatigue showing up in their gait. It's fascinating. Absolutely. And you could extrapolate this even further, Think about how different cultures might portray the same emotion or activity in very different ways in video. There are so many variables that need to be accounted for when analyzing a video, especially when attempting to interpret the meaning beyond a surface-level understanding. And that's where the multidiscipline aspect becomes so critical, right? We're not just talking about one lens, but multiple intersecting lenses. So you need that cognitive analysis, the physical element, even the cultural understanding, all combined to get the full picture of the video. Yeah, it's like for me, it hits this interesting space where video analysis could be used as a tool to actually inform cognitive behavioral therapy or other therapeutic practices. I mean, imagine seeing subtle patterns in a video of someone struggling with a particular cognitive distortion, like catastrophic thinking. If we can detect that, it's potentially a game changer, right? It could be much more targeted and precise. That's very powerful because it takes us beyond self-reporting. We're moving from subjective interpretations to quantifiable data analysis of video. And from my perspective, think about the potential for using this in sleep studies. You could potentially analyze someone's movement patterns during sleep to predict the different sleep stages. And if we combine that with the kind of physical activity, say an exercise video they've watched earlier in the day, we can track how the two impact each other. Yes, that would be massive. And it's not just about health applications, even though those are incredibly valuable and compelling. From my angle, I'm intrigued by how this kind of analysis could improve AI's capacity to understand human behavior. Think about the sheer volume of video data available, much of it unlabeled. It is a treasure trove for understanding how we learn, how we adapt, and how we interact with the world. This could lead to more advanced AI systems. It's really like using video as a window into the mind, isn't it? And the possibilities just keep opening up. I'm thinking about my own work and how this could impact lifestyle changes. For instance, you could record a whole day and then analyze how much time you spend in different postures, or how your habits manifest in movement patterns and expressions. Seeing it all on video, like a personal coach that records all the time, would be a significant shift in how I implement my life hacks. Yeah, that's what's so fascinating about this. It's like, we often think we know how we behave, but video evidence is often a startling contrast, right? The ability to see our own subtle cognitive biases through how we engage with video content could be a real catalyst for personal growth. I think seeing yourself act or engage with video can be an important first step. Exactly. I mean, I've been watching videos about sleep hygiene lately, and it's one thing to read about it, but it's another to see how certain behaviors manifest. I've been trying to implement better sleep routines, and I feel like this analysis could really be a game changer. Imagine using video to capture not only my exercise habits, but also my sleeping habits, and then optimizing them through data. Wow. Absolutely. It's about moving from theoretical knowledge to practical application with a more data-driven approach. And the more I think about this MMVU concept, the more I see it as fundamental. It is not just about how AI can analyze video, but also how our AI analysis could give us a new kind of mirror to reflect how we learn and how we act. This could lead to better training methodologies in AI. So, it's about using video to uncover patterns we might not otherwise be aware of, right? It's like using a mirror, but one that shows you more than just your reflection. It also shows your habits, your cognitive patterns, your physical responses. That's a powerful tool for self-improvement. Even with something as simple as using video to track my food consumption and movement throughout the day, it feels like I have an objective view of my habits that I can then learn from and change. It's less about I should do this and more about, oh, I see myself doing that. Right, and that objectivity is crucial. It's like the video doesn't have the same biases that our internal narratives often do. We tell ourselves stories about what we're doing and what we're thinking, but sometimes those narratives aren't accurate or aren't complete. The video is just the video. And that's why I think this whole idea of analyzing how we process video is also key. What kind of implicit biases do we bring to the screen that we are watching? How are we filtering what we see based on our existing thought patterns? I think video can be a very potent tool to unpack and reframe thought processes, but also see how we process information. Yes, absolutely. And in terms of physical health, it's not just about seeing yourself move, but it's about seeing the nuances in those movements. Are you rushing through stretches? Are you tensing up during specific exercises? You can learn so much by analyzing the subtle details. Also, I saw a video about incorporating slow, mindful movement into daily routines. If you record yourself doing some stretching, then analyze it, you can refine the movement until it's perfect. It makes me think I could achieve a far higher level of effectiveness in any of my routines or exercises. Right. And if we take this into the field of AI and how they learn from video, we could apply these insights to improve how AI systems label and interpret video data. It's not just about spot the object. It's also about understand the context and meaning. And the fact that the field is pushing past just looking at the objects in the frame is great, because that's never how we experience reality. We experience things in context. So the more we study this, the more we might learn about how human knowledge is constructed. It's like the video becomes a mirror for our minds, our bodies, and even our cultures, right? And for me, the idea that I can record my entire day, then examine it, opens up so many different avenues for improvement. It's not about just trying harder. It's about observing, learning, and then making adjustments based on the data. Even my meditation practice can be assessed. Am I slouching? Is my breathing regular? And all these things can then be optimized, and I am all for it. This seems more robust than some of the life hacks I try. Yeah, and to take it further, we could also use video analysis to understand how our brains process information while watching a video. What parts of the brain are activated when we watch a documentary about cognitive biases versus a sitcom, for example? How does our implicit learning shift when we consume different types of content? This could be incredibly valuable for designing better video content for therapeutic or learning purposes. It's not just about what the video shows, but how the brain engages with what it shows. Absolutely. And in terms of sleep and exercise, imagine being able to create personalized exercise routines based on how your body responds to certain stimuli seen in videos. This data could be incredibly useful for finding the most effective type of exercise for the individual. I think this is very exciting to think about. And if you can track your sleep and combine that with a workout analysis, then you could find what really works for you, which is different from everyone else. That's right. And there's a real ethical component to this too. How do we ensure that these tools are used responsibly and do not perpetuate existing biases? How do we deal with privacy concerns when you can essentially reconstruct someone's behavioral patterns from video? And how do we deal with the potential for manipulation or misuse of that data? I think that those considerations are vital as we move forward. Those are essential points and definitely worth considering as we develop these tools. But on a more personal level, I'm also interested in how video analysis can help me incorporate more mindful eating. I saw a video that showed how fast you are eating, and I realized I had not actually slowed down to process the food. I mean, it seems that we can use video to refine almost every aspect of our lives. And when I think about that, it makes me optimistic for improving overall health and lifestyle. Yeah, the level of self-awareness that video analysis can provide is kind of mind-blowing. And that also speaks to the potential for better video-based therapy. How can we use video to make cognitive restructuring more effective? Can we design video-based exercises that specifically target certain negative thought patterns? It's like we're moving beyond talk therapy to a more tangible approach where we see our thoughts manifesting in our behaviors on screen. The video is not just about the what, but about the how. And for me, it's about how specific exercises can be combined with sleep hygiene techniques. If I can see my own sleep patterns in a video, then see how they shift according to different types of exercise, it might just unlock a better way of living. I'm very interested in how to use video to not only see what is working and what is not, but also find those nuanced ways to create a lifestyle plan that really fits my body and my mind instead of some generic program. And I think this is true for everyone. I totally agree. And from a tech perspective, thinking about the future of AI, if we could develop AI systems that really understand human video behavior in this multifaceted way, it could revolutionize how we develop AI in the future. That kind of depth and understanding would be invaluable in a wide range of applications. The challenge, though, is creating AI that is able to capture the complexity and nuance of human behavior without perpetuating the very biases that we're trying to understand and overcome. And that brings up an important point: ensuring accessibility. These technologies shouldn't be limited to experts. How can we make them user-friendly and accessible to everyone so people can leverage these insights for their own growth and well-being? I'm thinking even the lighting we use in our own homes can affect mood, and I wonder how AI can better analyze those elements and make them into useful suggestions. I mean, if I can use video to see how lighting changes my own posture throughout the day, then that's something that could be a simple life hack, but have a profound impact. Right, the democratization of this knowledge is essential, especially in terms of mental health. If we can use video as a tool for self-reflection, and this can be made accessible, then that could lead to more autonomy in mental health management. It's about empowering individuals to become active participants in their own healing process. Maybe one day we might see something like personalized CBT exercises embedded in video and AI technology that help us reframe thinking errors and cognitive distortions in our daily habits, not just in a therapeutic context. And that ties right in with personalized exercise and sleep routines. If everyone can access an AI that can watch a video of them and then make recommendations, that would revolutionize health and wellness. And it's not just about exercise itself, but movement and even how we interact with our environment throughout the day. Maybe video analysis can reveal something as simple as you need to adjust your chair, or you are tensing up your shoulders when you are on the phone. These are not major things, but they can have big impacts, and video analysis can uncover that. That's exactly the point. It's about scalability, right? And for AI, that's always a key consideration. We don't want to develop systems that only a few experts can understand or benefit from. And that really means tackling this issue of bias in the data itself and in the algorithms. But the potential for good is massive. Think about how we learn. Think about the future of education, training, and communication. If we can better understand the ways we learn, then we could create so much better systems for understanding each other. Yes, and thinking about future research, I'm really excited about the possibilities of combining video analysis with things like EEG or other biometric data. I feel that this combination could give us an even more holistic view of ourselves, as it will connect physical responses to emotional and cognitive responses. It's not just observing our behaviors, but understanding the underlying processes, and I think it could be a profound paradigm shift in self-improvement. It's not just about observing the what, but understanding the why of our actions through data. From my perspective, I'd like to see more research on developing video-based interventions for specific cognitive distortions. How can we use video to directly challenge and restructure faulty thought patterns? I'm also very interested in implicit learning through video. What kind of video content might be most effective in promoting positive cognitive shifts? I wonder if there's a way of creating educational video content that also does double duty as cognitive therapy. I'm really interested in exploring how we can refine and optimize exercise and sleep through video analysis. And I want to explore further how we can move beyond just looking at the individual and into their environment. How can we use video to understand how our surroundings impact us? I also want to explore combining these elements of movement and sleep together. Maybe using a video of one informs the other, as both areas are important for a healthy life. I would push future research toward developing robust and bias-aware AI models that are able to process video with the same level of comprehension as a human expert from multiple backgrounds. This could require a more nuanced understanding of cultural and historical context to overcome current biases. It's about creating ethical and trustworthy AI systems that not only understand videos, but also understand us. Fantastic points, everyone. It sounds like there is so much potential in this area of research, and I cannot wait to see how it develops in the future. I hope that these tools become widely accessible so everyone can benefit from the power of this technology. Agreed. The future is promising, and there is much to explore in this area of video analysis. It is a field that could really revolutionize mental health and how we understand cognition and behavior. Absolutely, there is so much potential in this field, and I can only imagine what will be discovered in the coming years. I think personalized health and wellness, driven by data, is within our reach, and I look forward to further discoveries in this area. Yes, it's an exciting field, and one that has tremendous potential to influence not only how we understand video, but how we understand ourselves. It is going to be a fascinating ride. Thank you for joining us on Cognitive Spirals.